When we imagine Marcus Aurelius, we see the emperor of Rome commanding legions. We expect a philosophy of external conquest. Instead, Meditations offers a manual for a different kind of war, the quiet, desperate battle against one's own impressions. To modern eyes, Stoicism is often reduced to a life hack for productivity or a tool for numbing emotions. It is treated as a shield against pain. But contemporary philosophers suggest something deeper. Book 1 of Meditations reveals that Stoicism is not merely a philosophy of endurance. It is a philosophy of moral formation. It asks not how much you can withstand, but who you are becoming in the process. Today, we explore 5 lessons from the emperor that are essential for modern mental strength. There is no metaphysics here, no grand doctrine, only the rigorous practice of guarding the soul. The first lesson modern Stoics draw is that we are complicit in our own disturbance. Marcus writes, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it." We often believe that events trigger our anger or anxiety, the traffic, the insult, the financial loss. But the Stoic recognizes a gap between the event and the emotion. In that gap lies the discipline of assent. When an insult is thrown, it is merely sound waves moving through air. It is your judgment that labels it offensive. It is your mind that decides you have been harmed. If you refuse to accept that judgment, the harm ceases to exist. This requires a type of vigilance that is rare in the modern world. We are accustomed to immediate reaction. We let our impressions trample us. But to be mentally strong is to stand at the gate of your mind like a sentry. You must interrogate every impression. Is this true? Is this necessary? Corruption begins internally long before it becomes visible externally. By refusing to assent to negative judgments, you remain untouchable. You become, in the truest sense, unbreakable. There is a modern obsession with explanation. We feel a compulsive need to defend our actions, to correct every falsehood, to explain our philosophy to those who do not understand it. Marcus offers a corrective. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. This is the economy of speech. Words are often a substitute for action, a way to signal virtue rather than possess it. When we explain ourselves, we are seeking external validation. We are asking the world to agree with our character. The Stoic needs no such agreement. Silence is not passivity. It is a containment of energy. Every time you refuse to argue, you conserve the energy required to live virtuously. Pierre Hadot argued that for the ancients, philosophy was a way of life, not a discourse. In a modern context, this insight is urgent. The internet is a machine designed to provoke explanation and argument. To step back, to let your actions speak while your voice remains still, is an act of profound rebellion. It signals that your self-worth is not up for negotiation. We often view our character as an isolated fortress, built solely by our own will. But Book 1 of Meditations teaches us otherwise. It is a list of debts gratitude to those who shaped him. This implies a dangerous corollary. We are shaped by everyone we allow close to us. Character is sedimentary. It is built layer by layer from the habits, attitudes, and words of those around us. If you surround yourself with the anxious, the ambitious, and the ungrateful, you will inevitably absorb their worldview. Marcus' practice suggests a corrective exercise. Audit your influences. Who are you becoming by proximity? If your circle consists of people who complain about their fate, who gossip, who value status over virtue, you are drinking poison daily. You cannot expect to have a Stoic mind if you inhabit a frantic environment. This is not snobbery. It is stewardship. You are the guardian of your own soul. To allow corrupting influences into your life is a failure of that stewardship. Gratitude here is not sentimental politeness. It is realism about how fragile our virtue truly is. There is a misconception that the Stoic accepts fate with a gritted teeth resignation, a sort of suffer and bear it mentality. But Marcus advises us to go further. He suggests we must learn to love what happens. He uses the metaphor of fire. A small flame is extinguished by a heap of debris, but a blazing fire consumes everything thrown into it and burns higher because of it. This shift is revolutionary. When we face an obstacle, a difficult boss, a health crisis, a failure, our instinct is to ask, why is this happening to me? The Stoic asks, how can this fuel me? The obstacle is not a blockage, it is raw material. If you are treated unfairly, it is fuel for patience. If you face loss, it is fuel for detachment. If you face pain, it is fuel for endurance. This transforms the world from a hostile place into a gymnasium for the soul. You stop fearing the future because you know that whatever arrives, you have the capacity to consume it. You do not just endure your fate, you appropriate it. Finally, we must address the problem of perspective. We are trapped in the proximal. We obsess over the slight at the office, the number in the bank account, the slow internet connection. We live as if our immediate moment is the entirety of history. Marcus frequently utilized the view from above. He commanded himself to look at the earth from a cosmic distance, to see armies as ants fighting over a crumb, to see the rise and fall of empires as the shifting of sand dunes. This is not to say that life is meaningless. It is to say that our anxieties are disproportionate. When you zoom out, the things that torment you shrink to their proper size. This awareness reduces arrogance. It fosters responsibility. When you realize how brief your time is and how small your space, you stop wasting energy on petty grievances. You realize that the only thing big enough to matter is your integrity. Your task is not to be original in virtue. It is to be faithful to it. If we were to imitate him, we might begin our own book one. We might look at our lives not as a series of accidents, but as a project of construction. The first lesson modern Stoics draw is that character is inherited before it is chosen, but it is perfected only through rigor. So I leave you with this question for your own reflection. If others were to write a book one about you, what would they list? What traits have they absorbed from you?